Right lads, today's the day. The 13th MEU is called back to Afghanistan amidst a chaotic situation. ISIS forces have displaced the Taliban supporters and the mission is clear. Secure the nation, identify and capture the Decca 52 and support the 10th Mounted Division in their role as the main occupying force. In the inaugural week, the 13th MEU initiates its mission by familiarizing themselves with MOB control. However, en route, an urgent plea for assistance unfolds, diverting the unit's attention to a downed Black Hawk and the imperative search for any surviving comrades. In the midst of engaging with militia forces, the 13th locates and provides aid to surviving Marines. Friendly forces converge to offer support, neutralizing any lingering hostiles in the area. And now, this is where it gets spicy, boys. Week 2 unfolds with a potential threat discovered by the first raiders during the raid. The 13th MEU shifts focus to a local oil refinery deploying via vehicle convoy. Simultaneously, they deliver supplies to an area affected by a suicide bombing. After setting off, a wrong turn led to an attack, almost losing a few assets. After breaking contact, the supplies were dropped off, moving to the now identified IED factory and successfully taking it by force. After the bloody attacks on our military outposts, Week 3 tasks the 13th MEU with humanitarian efforts. They reach out to the locals with supplies, aiming to gather intel on the fuckers that attacked us that day. A minefield near FOB Iban needs clearance, and the unit transitions from aiding the army to engaging with the locals at a market. After meeting with the 10th Mountain Division, forces came under fire while trying to clear a minefield. The 13th moved to drop off humanitarian aid supplies, learning about a sneaky little bugger, Mohammed al-Assab, aka the Butcher. Also with that intel, managed to secure an IED munitions factory. Week 4 rolls in the recon unable to secure the HVT. Intel on Aropsta was limited. Several key fortified objectives were identified, but air support was limited to the local jamming within the AO. The 13th moved into the city to destroy all ISIS assets and personnel. Upon reaching Aropsta, the 13th forces recovered some jamming equipment and flushed out any remaining ISIS forces located in the city. Though the Jacket Clubs is still on the loose. The 13th is still staying strong, pushing ISIS forces out the region. Thanks to the raiders' efforts, Week 5 sees successful destruction of an enemy OWP and reinforcement of the northern encampments. The focus shifts to securing Ofar, moving east to control the Ofar factory. Securing economic stability and disrupting ISIS networks are priorities. And with the 2 clubs on site, the mission was clear: eliminate all hostile forces and recover any intel. After 13th forces entered the AO, they were able to eliminate the 2 clubs and gather more intel about the jammers popping up throughout the region. Ground level operations dominate Week 6, emphasizing the hearts and minds approach. On the way to set up a CP, an element identified as metal farmers engaged in hostilities after being told to vacate the area. Once a CP was set up, 13th forces started to conduct foot patrols and ensured security while assisting civilians. Despite the potential enemy contact in the southeast, the mission remains focused on both policing the area and building positive relationships with the locals. Threats from the south have forced a search of every vehicle passing through. Patrols through the area ran into contact at every waking minute. One of these patrols Blackjack encountered hostile drones killing many Marines. However, valuable intel was recovered from civilians and vehicles passing through the CP. Week 7 marks a shift to forward projection of power into the enemy-held territory. Counterinsurgency operations continue, with the focus on retaking the town of Mafaraz in the northwestern mountains. Communication within the region of Mafaraz had been severely hampered due to the frequency of jammers and rugged terrain, intensifying the hostile environment and ISIS members, requiring a more careful and strategic approach to any future objects in the region. Within Mafaraz, the 13th Marines found ISIS forces using hostages, slowing down all objectives. 13th forces were able to successfully overcome limitations in the area, taking back Mafaraz, saving the locals, and retrieving valuable intel, possibly leading to far-reaching implications later on. Operation in Week 8 centers on securing checkpoint Grimshaw from repeated attacks. The mission involved protecting locals, conducting foot patrols, and coordinating with the Afghan National Army. For a comprehensive response to the recent attacks, adaptability and clear communication are crucial in this hostile environment. For the 13th Forces, by the end of the week-long deployment to Grimshaw, 13th members took heavy losses with 14 fatalities and a downing of a Venom airframe, but managing to take POWs, gaining valuable intel.
1-1, engine out.
Week 9 reconnaissance efforts revealed a heavily fortified FOB established by ISIS forces in the forested mountainous region, with heavy AA detected, limiting all support from the 2nd Marine Aviation Wing. Also located at the FOB were members from the Deck of 52, with the support from the Afghan National Army to divert attention far east. 13th Forces successfully deployed to the AO, followed by coordinated artillery attack with SEAD operations handled by 2 more. 13th Infantry, while moving to the FOB, were engaged earlier than expected by ISIS forces using unorthodox methods. Despite initial setbacks, 13th Marines were able to neutralize the AA sites and PKM positions, allowing full control over the FOB. 13th Forces also eliminated 2 members of the Deck of 52. All that's left now is to clean up the entrenched ISIS forces left in the mountains. Good luck, boys. Let's flush these fuckers out.